Hi, I'm Cheryl. Here we go with card 2 of my Valentine's cards. This one I'm going to show you how to make this string of hearts that I have on here. I don't usually bring in my die cut machine, but today it's necessary. So let's see, what do we need here? We need a piece of Whisper White cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. That will be our card base. We need to cut out 2 hearts. Now I could have sworn that I had the Stampin' Up ones. They're from the Sweet and Sassy Framelits dies, but if I had them I must have loaned them out to someone, but I did have some older dies that I had to make hearts. So you just cut out, I don't know which ones to tell you to use, so just cut out the ones that that our sentiments will fit into. And a piece of real red cardstock, 5 1/4 by 4. And then we have from our designer series papers, Sending Love. This one that I used on the original card, it has all little teeny tiny white hearts on it. This one has like the heart medallions on it, so our card will be a little different this time. And I cut myself 2 strips of paper to do this, just in case I mess it up. But this is 4 by 2.5. No, excuse me, 1 1/4 by 6. You need the 4 by 2.5 piece of Whisper White to cut the 2 hearts from. And those are approximate measurements. If your heart's a little smaller, a little tiny bit larger, then you may need to adjust that size. And we'll need our real red stamp pad. And this is the designer series paper. It's beautiful. It's one side or two-sided. All different wonderful designs in here. Something fell on the floor. It's probably something I need. And we'll be using this die, this border die of all the hearts, and that's from the Sealed with Love bundle. Then we're also using, let's see, we're using Love Note on one of the hearts, Sealed with a Kiss on another heart, and then on the inside we're using Happy Valentine's Day. We'll need our Stampin' Dimensionals and our Tombow glue. So let's do the die cut first. Let me bring in my Cuddle Bug. One of these days I'm going to get one of those nice big shot machines, but in the meantime they just keep putting other stuff out that I have to have, and I'm just like everybody else, I only have so much money to spend. So if you're using a Cuddle Bug, you'll need your A, B, and C plate. And let's get one of our little strips in here. And we'll put our hearts. And just right down the middle is fine. And I have my ever-present masking tape that I've de-stickified. You just take this and stick it on your clothes, depending on how linty your clothes are, half a dozen times, just to take the stickiness off of it a little bit so it doesn't tear your paper. See plate on top, and we'll run that through. And those creaking noises are perfectly normal. Get that out. And now what we're going to do in order to make our string of hearts, is we're going to take the die cut off here, and you see it's cut out, but we're going to flip it over. We'll flip the paper over, and we're going to take our die cut now, and we're going to, you can feel the depressions. If you slide your die cut around, you can feel those depressions, and it'll just kind of slip right into them. Hold that in place, and we're going to tape that down. This is very important on this side, that it stays in place, because we don't want that shifting out of our little grooves. We'll put the C plate on top, we'll run that through. Keep our fingers crossed. It works real well the first time around here. And let's see how we did. Peel our tape off, and I save that. You see I have a piece stuck on my cuddle bug too. Like I said, I have these little bits of masking tape all over the place. Okay, now very carefully take this off, and there we go. Look at this. You see that? So now we're just going to take a pair of sharp scissors, and at the very bottom we're going to just trim that off, and at the top we'll trim that off. This one actually came out better than my first one. My first one I was just a tad off, and I had to go back and trim off where it had double cut. So if you need to do a practice run first, there's no shame in that. But to get this out of here, because we don't need that anymore. Now we'll bring our piece of designer paper in here. Oh, wait a minute. We have to do the Tombow trick. You know what the Tombow trick is? We're going to just put Tombow glue, just very lightly, right down the center. We're not going to glue the whole thing up. We're just going to put right down the center here on the little strips of paper that connect the hearts and come out the end here, and also right down the center of the hearts. And we're gonna set that aside. We're gonna let it dry. And if you've seen some of my other videos, this is a trick I love to do because it just helps keep getting those shiny spots. You know what happens when you, those little spots that happen when you get the glue out, and when it oozes out onto your card. So that eliminates that from happening, and it sticks every bit as good as if you did it wet. So let's stamp our hearts here, and love note, I'm going to put it at a diagonal, make that a little more fun. And there we go, that's done. Let me wipe that off to try to keep some of the ink off my fingers. I always seem to get ink on my fingers. I think I'm just not happy unless my fingers are inked up. Holidays have a way of creeping up on me. I think I'm doing real good, and then all of a sudden I go, oh my gosh, it's almost whatever, Thanksgiving or Christmas or Valentine's Day. And we'll stamp this straight down, straight up. Got a nice impression there. We could put that aside. Let me wipe that off a little bit. I'll clean that up good later. And let's see, on the inside of our card, okay, now we're going to have it oriented this way. So make sure that you stamp it that way. I'm a good one for, most of my cards are this way, so I tend to just automatically go and stamp it like that. So that was a reminder to myself as much as to you. But you always want to make sure your card's going to open the right way. Let's get that inked up good. My Real Red ink is really juicy. Go straight down and straight up. And there we go. We've got our Happy Valentine's Day on the inside. Everything's going so well. I haven't lost anything yet. And the stamping is going well. I almost look professional. Okay, let's get that ink out of here. Alright, so now our little hearts are dry. We're going to put those on our Designer Series paper. And we're going to go not totally corner to corner, but just a little inside. Let's see. So he wanted about 1/8 of an inch from the corner. And we'll stick that all down. Flip this over and trim off that little bit of excess of our string. And then we're going to go in here and we're going to just flip up these little hearts. If you just bend your paper a little bit, you should be able to get your nail underneath there and just flip them up a little bit. That gives a little extra dimension on our card. Oh, there was little pieces. See, there's a little tiny piece that I was just a little bit off. Let me see if I can get that other side there. There we go. But you see, that makes no difference. You can be a tiny bit off and it'll still be fine. Okay, so we've got that. We're going to take our Stampin' Dimensionals. We're going to put these up on dimensionals. Probably want about 3 of them on each of the backs of these. And give them a little poke. That makes it easier to peel these up. Okay, let's see. That's my Love Note one. I'm going to put that up the top here. You know what? I'm not going to put this on next. I'm going to put this, I'm going to glue this piece down to my red. Because my hearts overlap the red just a little bit. I almost got out of order a little bit here. And it wouldn't have been any great hardship, but it's best to do things in the proper order. Okay, and there we go. That's centered on that red. Now we'll put the heart on. Because, like I said, it overlaps a little bit there. And we'll get this one. And we'll put him on a diagonal going this way. And then that can go on the card base. Just put some Tombow glue on there. Near the edge, but not too close. this point we don't want glue oozing out. We did so well with our string of hearts. And there we go. And that's the card. So there's the one we just made. There's the original. And both are really pretty. Came out really nice. So if you've liked my video, be sure to hit the like button below. If you'd like to see more, hit subscribe. If you want to shop with me, you can do that through my website or my Facebook page. And I hope you have fun making Valentine's Day cards. Y'all take care, stay safe, and happy stamping.